Welcome, Virgo. Welcome to your reading. This is a reading for star sign Virgo, sun sign Virgo, obviously, but it can also be for rising sign or your ascendant if that is in Virgo, and even a Virgo moon. So these are timeless messages. Whenever you come across them, this is exactly what you need to hear. We're always looking for practical advice, any kind of messages that we can give you, insights that you can integrate into your life to become the free person you were always meant to be. So we are starting off with two foundational cards that will set the tone for your reading, and then we'll get you additional messages. These are from the Starseed Oracle. I just love these cards. So let's go ahead with your reading. The Void, Stop, Embrace Winter, Great Cosmic Womb. That's a beautiful card. If you can see it, it's very dark, but it's absolutely beautiful. Okay. Activated Earth, Power Places, Ley Lines, Trust Where You Are Led. So the first message I'm getting for you, Virgo, is that you're very much in touch with spirit and the earth. And this is an incredible, a beautiful place for you to be. You're also very earthy. So there's been times where that earth has actually worked to sort of, how do I say it? To make you heavier, to pull you down a little bit. But you are actually working with this energy in a beautiful new way, which is really incredible and very insightful. So what it is that you're able to do, Virgo, is that the analytical aspect of self is able to see what it is that you need, but you don't often feel as though, for the most part, that you are able to get it for yourself. But this is just recently shifted. There's also an essence of self where you've not always trusted all of the energy that's in and around you. That doesn't mean to say that you don't hold space for everybody and everyone, because you absolutely do. But you have this trusting instinct, but it only goes so far. It doesn't mean that you let a lot of people into your life. I feel as though for some of you, you've had a lot of heartache, but you've also been let down. So you've kept people at arm's length for a certain amount of your life, but something has been activated and something has been shifted. Now, the void that you felt before, that was there. You did... It was activated within you a while ago, and you definitely did visit with it. It's not like you've not gone into your shadow self and done your work. In many ways, you're very balanced, Virgo. But also what you've done is you kept hold of that void because it kept you close to who you thought you were. And some of you have wondered what it is that you specifically are doing on this earth, and you've questioned that. But I feel as though you get great pleasure from different people, from the earth, but like specifically traveling, new cultures, meeting people. You see the beauty in people before they see it in themselves. Give me a second here. I want to get that. We have the manifesting cards here. So this is just giving you a background. So something has definitely shifted recently where you're able to recalibrate. You're able to go back into this sort of void that you had before, and you're able to embrace it in a brand new way. You're able to integrate it in a way that actually makes you stronger, not makes you not sad, but not makes you sort of grieving. I feel as though you come out of a certain aspect of permanent grieving in a way, and that something's reborn, and that would have been somebody else coming into your life. Directing my focus into what's thriving creates more of what I want. Yes, there was a heaviness that was carried around with you, and you kept it within out of respect, I feel, for those whom you loved. And there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody grieves in their own way. I think you kept it close as an excuse to keep all aspects of self together. You almost sort of sewed yourself up with this kind of grief, or this kind of understanding of grief. When I'm in a state of appreciation, I'm in vibrational alignment with my true love nature. Yeah, you sort of lived two different lives, Virgo, because you were definitely able to share and shed love as needed. You were definitely able to integrate in a world and create this sort of energy of uniqueness and high frequency. But you were able to do it for in and around people and situations, but you weren't always able to do it for yourself. But something has shifted, and it's something that you did. You stepped up and you took something for yourself, which is something that you don't always do. You actually made a move. You made your life better. And by doing that, the universe stepped in and showed you a different form of, dealing with your past and reintegrating everything that you've been through. What you previously saw as a storm, you now see as, you still see it as a storm, but now you're picking up the pieces from it. Now, I feel as though the way in which you direct your focus, you've always been the sort of person that's very excited about new beginnings and very excited about moving forward. That's not really been your problem. The thing is that you've moved into every new situation with the old pain very firmly intact. So it's brought you to a level of humbleness that very few people get to, but it's not really enabled you to pull in the kind of love and the kind of beauty that you've ever thought that you could achieve. But I feel as though, and this could have already have happened. This could be something, a situation that's already happened, a situation that is happening, or a situation that will happen. But your circumstances are shifting, where you actually are going to look into that old set of circumstances. And even if, this is something that you've done years before, you're going to realign with this grief or this darkness, this sort of this void that you've had within, and you're going to recalibrate it in a brand new way. And those around you who have passed on, like ancestors, there's a lot of extra energy around you doing this. I can see them on the sideline kind of like clapping at how brilliant and beautiful you are and how humble you are, and that you've gotten to this point with as much heartbreak as you've ever had. But it's really the state of appreciation. I feel as though you're coming to new heights again, and you're actually taking more chances in a way and opening yourself up. And it may seem like a very small thing for you, or on the external people, on the external looking in on your life, it may not seem like, the changes that you're making are really, really huge necessarily, but they are for you, because you only know who you are. There's so much of you that's an open book, and yet there's very few people who really know the inner you. So, or the extent of what you've been through. And I feel as though you're processing, the way in which you process is very specific. You process to a certain degree so you can remain humble and beautiful and live with a certain amount of joy, but you don't process fully enough so you can move completely on and invite in every aspect and every opportunity that you're owed in this lifetime. So let's see what we have here. This is the Goddess Tarot here. So I want to see what we have. Yes, the Ten of Cups. But again, you're coming out of that. You've also achieved an incredible amount. You've had a lot of support. And I want to be clear here. Your support is not just from the universe. It's actually from your other side, from loved ones who have passed over specifically, but from ancestors too. You have a very strong ancestral line. I think to a certain degree you're aware of that, but there's a part of you in your lifetime that's always been looking out. And you're not someone, you have an interesting sense of control. You control certain things, so you're ready and you're efficient, but in many ways the rest of it is not controlled at all. So there's these two different dichotomies, two different aspects of balance that you've had, and they don't really balance out. The one thing that you have needed is something from the external coming in to shift things, like a catalyst, but you needed to be open enough to be able to embrace that. And you did it with grace. It may have taken you a little while, and there may have been some ups and downs with the process of letting someone or something in as a catalyst, but it's absolutely beautiful. And the other side of you is that you're very self-contained. You genuinely understand, and you know this from your core, that everything exists within you. You're the one that changes your destiny, and you're the one that understands who they are. You're the one, you really understand as a manifestor, it all comes from you. I think you've taken that just a little too literally, though, Virgo. What you've done is like you've shut down outside help a little bit. It takes you a long time to go for help when others will seek it a lot quicker. And you will deal with it on your own terms. And again, this is your process. We're not saying that this is a wrong way to be. In many ways, it's created this beautiful, sort of humble, gracious person that you are. And it's also, it's really funny because part in which the idea of the understanding that you love traveling and different cultures and meeting different people, part of it is always trying to sort of get outside of yourself too and find the answers. So that's part of like the beauty of wanting to connect to those outside, and being open to all people. You do give people the space to be themselves, and you do understand that some people don't act that well, and you give them the space to be themselves. There's not a lot of judgment on your part. And that's something that you've gained from being the way that you are. But you're dealing with the void, you're dealing with the darkness in a brand new way. This also means that it hits every level of your life. A lot of you are creative in some ways, and a lot of you use that creativity in a really sort of strange or this really interesting way of bringing the real pragmatic aspect to it. Pretty much what you set your mind to, you will achieve. There's just very few things that you necessarily go for, but when you do, that's it. If you have 5 choices, you will choose one, and you'll be very clear about that one choice, and you'll do it. And if you are unclear about, all the choices that are there, that's when, you sort of back off and see what life gives you. You sort of intrinsically know when to step up and when to back down or when to back off. And this has been a beautiful time for you in directing and refocusing and creating more of that love, creating more of that happiness, that satisfaction, that intrinsic beauty that comes with life, that's just, that's coming in from every direction now. And, expect more of this, more alignment. I feel as though, there's so much of your life that you've been incredibly grateful for when you look back on it. You're not an ungrateful person by any stretch of the imagination, but I feel as though there's a lot of you that's held themselves back in many ways. And even if you're, seen as a super achiever, you won't see yourself as that. There's a few things that you want to do, that you actually want to move yourself forward in the career, but you never really felt as though you could do it. Like for those of you who are an actor, you could be a director, or the writing aspect, pushing that further. Whatever it is that you're doing, there's one thing that you want to do to step up and take it to the next level. And now that you have that sort of alignment, that new energy, that new influx coming in, you have the confidence for the first time to do this, and you do have confidence. You do know when you're confident about something and you know that you've done it and you know that you're good at it, that's wonderful. But the reason why you have the confidence is because you do it and do it and do it until there's no way you can get it wrong. You're now moving in this sort of like much more carefree. You've always been open and expansive, but much more carefree understanding of what you can have in this lifetime. And I feel this is a beautiful time for you. The sense of appreciation and the sense of like loving your true nature and every aspect of yourself is now coming into alignment. And that's really opening up to a brand new being of being in the world in a brand new way. And I think that this is an incredible time for you, Virgo. It really, really is. It's sort of coming at you from every direction, like this love, this vibrational energy, and working with what you already know and the graciousness of who you are. I mean, you are really being led to new heights. And I would say, keep everything open. Keep every understanding of who you are and who you could be open, because the sky is literally the limit for you. And for those of you who have already felt like you've reached the highest, or, you've already accomplished what you want to do, I promise you there are other things to bring this to a global level. There's other ways to move into certain things, to actually help people on a much more of a massive level. And that's the level that you're at. And you're absolutely ready for this. I know this seems like a really kind of crazy sort of dark card, but embracing and seeing what you've gone through, and being able to experience it in a just in a light-filled way, opens you up to the communication of everything and everyone around you in a brand new way, which literally shifts your energy and vibration. It was already high. You always, vibrated at a high frequency and were able to manifest quite well. But I feel as though the sense of satisfaction, you can like lean into your life now a little bit and actually be a lot more gracious for your sense of self than you've ever given yourself room to be before, room to do before. So this is a beautiful and exciting time for you, Virgo. I'm really proud of you. I know that you've been through a little bit of hell and back, but this activation and a lot of these downloads that you've gone through recently, and all of these people that you've come into your life, yes, you've attracted them, but remember, you've allowed them in. This is why you're reaching these new heights. So congratulate yourself for trusting, and for trusting yourself to trust the right people in the right situations, because you did good. You did good, Virgo. So if this resonated with you, please feel free to leave me a little comment below. Always a pleasure to read for you, Virgo. And until we meet again, you take care. Bye-bye.